going ahead and collecting a sword and shield. We're going to be heading into the Deku Tree. Either performing a trick called Gim, which is going to give us a bottle, or heading to Kakariko and collecting the bottle. But basically, the things we need to do is get a bottle, we need to get down to Goma, beat Goma, and then we perform a trick called Wrong Warp, which warps us all the way to the end of the game right after you defeat Ganondorf, which is pretty awesome. It was pretty mind-blowing to me growing up when I found out that was a thing. I was like, okay, how do I do this? And then I saw how you did it, and I was like, I will never do that. And then 5 years later, I tried it, and I was like, all right, maybe it's not that hard. But, when these tricks first came out, it was like, people were like, yeah, these are insanely impossible. Like, nobody could ever do this ever. Like, and people, started doing them in runs, and they were like, okay. I guess this is possible. I guess we can do this. Especially, Void Warp.
Void Warp is honestly, specifically Instaclip is, a miracle that works. And it's, RTA valuable. Because that setup is so hard and kind of complex. But even just regular Void Warp, it's very cool that works.
Yeah, I mean, Void Warp, the trick we're talking about, see it coming up, hopefully. I mean, both these runners definitely going to be going for it with the times they got. You get to skip pretty much the entire Castle Collapse cutscene, but it requires some tricky situations. You got to roll into a rock and get something called a hyperextended super slide, which pushes you back at a really fast rate, lets you clip out of bounds. You basically got to hit a loading zone in a very particular way. But for right now, we're going to be heading out of Link's house here and going to collect our sword. So we'll see how these gamers can handle that. Looks like Z-Barf already pulling ahead a little bit here. I'm not sure if it's stream lag. I think it was.
Yeah, Barf's just playing crazy right now.
Yeah, insane stream performance right now to Z-Barf. Important to remember, though, both players local recording, both players running with their own timers, so even if the times are close, we're able to retime them, figure out the difference and all that.
So, like Sarah mentioned earlier, first things first is just to get a sword and a shield and head off to Deku Tree, so that's what we're doing here.
Yeah, luckily the rupees are plentiful here in Kokiri Forest. Probably going to go for, the normal, I guess, advanced route, but pretty much basic route where we collect quite a few rupees here in the maze and then do bridge clip, which is a pretty cool trick you will see coming up, where you can kind of jump slash to gain some height and skip, you can kind of climb up the side of one of the houses, top of the bridge, and there's 5 rupees up there, but luckily climbing on top of a fence, you can just kind of do a jump slash and very precisely climb up even higher. Saves a bit of time. So alternatively, you wouldn't even get those rupees. You would just go collect some rupees from the stepping stones.
Yeah, that would be the alternative to Bridge Clip. But I think Bridge Clip saves 2 seconds or something over good stepping stone movement.
Okay, Kaylabee backing it up, had some issues with the angle exiting the crawl space there, but manages to get things set up. We're going to be setting up for a bridge clip here. Pretty consistent setup. Love to see
so
it.
That is just a jump slash at the right time, just at the height of the jump, and it pushes you that much more that you need to get up onto the bridge.
Yeah, with these early 3D games, they just really didn't want you to be inside of objects, so if you even come close to being inside of an object, the game will just shove you upwards. And I mean, even newer games, it does that. I mean, if you ever watch Super Mario Odyssey trick jumping, a lot of times you'll see players just kind of phasing upwards at the end of a jump. Games don't like you going out of bounds, turns out, or going inside of objects.
Yeah, well, bridge clip, for instance, actually specifically works because that bridge is only has one side of collision, so the top side.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's not even a clip, really. The bottom just doesn't have any collision, and you just pop up.
Yeah, that's another nice thing about older games is they just kind of didn't put collision on both sides of objects. They just kind of assumed people wouldn't get on the other side.
Yeah, there's a few cases of that in this game alone. But either way, we are almost into Deku Tree, just watching this cutscene for him to open his mouth, and we're in.
Yeah, Kayla getting a pretty solid boost there in the cutscene. You can line up on the wall and do a quick jump slash while you're side hopping, which projects you pretty rapidly in the cutscene. Z-Barf having a little bit of issues with that. Drawing his sword early messes up the timing quite a bit, but doesn't really matter. Only saves, you know, frames, but every little bit counts, especially in a category that's 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right, so here's Gim coming up for Kayla. First things first, we're gonna get a glitch called Quick Put Away, where we basically make the game jump slash with nothing in our hand, and it creates this glitch damage value, which has a lot of different properties, but the important one is Din's Fire, and that allows us to burn the web. And we're gonna set up for Gim now. We're going to get an exact position so that we can drop down and clip through this gold skull on the vines here. Go need one more frame. There it is. And we land in the water out of bounds here. And we're going to set up so we can climb back in in a certain way with a glitch called Dive Cancel. And we're going to trick the game into thinking we're underwater here. So Kayla needs to wait for some bobs. The bobs up and down. Yeah, grab Z-Barf.
Yeah.
Alright, so Kayla got onto the vines. Oh no, that sucks.
That's even worse. Oh, taking a death on the Bob. I'm gonna have to start at the beginning of the Deku Tree, and both players relatively even at this point. Having to reset up their Gims here.
Yeah, brutal for both.
And
basically even now.
Yeah, Barf trying to farm some extra hearts here, unable to do so. Let's see how the drop goes.
Synced. Oh,
Okay.
Zebra got fake framed.
Yeah, Kaylabee making her way out of bounds again, but can we get the Gim without dying to the Baba? That is the question. I don't think we'll see something like that happen again. That's a very freak accident.
Yeah. It's a pretty uncommon error. Alright,
What exactly is fake frame as someone who's not super...
Yeah, so when they're no, Kayla.
Oh,
wait.
is this a Gim massacre right now? She's not okay, right?
Oh, did she get hit by the Baba?
Yeah, she fell
I
into
didn't
the
quite
water.
see.
Yeah, I'm not a Gim expert. I'm a cac
Yeah.
route,
So
unfortunately.
so fake frame there is when they're puzzle frame to hold up onto to get back onto the or to clip through the skull rather. So here. You pause for to a certain visual cue, but sometimes that visual cue can lie to you. I forget exactly what it is caused by, but it's some kind of camera thing based on your inputs earlier. No real way of knowing when it's going to happen. Yeah, and sometimes it's just a frame later than it usually is. That's all.
Yeah, and Z-Barf heading up to that chest. I think it's to store a chest value. I'm not really sure exactly what to specifically call it.
Yeah, so we'll walk through with Kayla here. Getting Nutwell, the game thinks we're underwater, and we're gonna head back up to the map chest. And so the game is waiting for us to resurface to give us that Deku Nut that we just collected. And we're gonna touch the map chest to where it says open. And the game thinks now that we're in front of a map chest. And the way the chest worked in the short version is it preps the value, the negative value. And once you open the chest, it becomes positive and gives you that number. But when we resurface that negative value just kind of wraps around and correlates to Blue Potion.
Yeah, pretty lucky that it correlates to Blue Potion because needs that bottle. Very nice scrubs from Z-Barf there. Dodging the bullets, deflecting them in the appropriate manner. Knows the secret combination.
Yeah. Imagine knowing 23 is number 1 in a defeat Ganon run.
Yeah, kind of crazy. Didn't even have to talk to the dude upstairs. Might have to...
Oh, this comes from... Oh, Kayla didn't take damage there. That sucks.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to damage down a little bit extra on the scrubs, but not too far behind here. I mean, we're coming up
it's
on...
still pretty even.
Coming up on some difficult tricks. I mean, after the Goma fight here, Goma fight can go wrong even at this level, but it's much less likely. What we're really looking at here is the wrong warp, and then more importantly, the void warp. Players can have quite a bit of trouble if you get bad rocks. You're trying to do an extended super slide off of literally random objects falling out of the sky. And if you get bad RNG, if you're having a hard time, the nerves are high, it can be a bit difficult. Oh no, Kayla has switched targeting on an accident.
How?
What on earth? VC moment. Thank God my console is too stupid to store more than one video game on a cartridge, so I just kind of plug that in and it usually doesn't change.
She reinstalled OT because she was playing MM thing.
Sad.
Alright, well, nice fight from Kayla. She actually entered with more health than she needed, so she had to take one hit from Goma.
That could be a pretty big problem when it comes to ISG.
Alright, good west from Z-Barf. On his way to get some bugs. Trade out his blue potion. Now our way to get those bugs as well. And we'll see what movement Z-Barf opts for here. I don't think he's a Wesser, but you never know.
I'd love to see it.
Unfortunately, no Wessing. Just gonna roll on back to the Deku Tree.
Very happy to see the consistent strategies coming out. I mean, Waterfall West doesn't lose much time if you miss it, but
No, it doesn't. It also doesn't save much time if you just don't go for it. So
yeah. All right, nice B1 skip from Z-Barf. Not having to do any backups here. And loaded on the nets and doing a safety save. Good strategy for a race. Doesn't lose much time. And, if you end up missing the frame here, it's not a huge deal. Got plenty of nuts to go again. A couple of times even. Okay. Taking a full stop there on the lineup. Very shallow into the warp. All right, and we are to the tower here, Ganon's tower. Showing that consistency on the wrong warp. You love to see it. Really impressive how Z-Barf defeated Ganondorf that quickly. Like, I mean, didn't even have to look at him. The dude wasn't even in frame and he just collapsed. Kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of curious.
Like entering the Mr. Destructoid zone.
Sorry, my internet must be a bit bad right now. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, it's okay. We do accept robotic commentators here on GSA. It is acceptable.
Thanks.
And Kayla also nailing the Ganondorf. So we are lining up for the hardest trick in the run now, which is coming up with pretty much a sync on both runners. I mean, Z-Barf does have a little bit of a lead, but this trick is kind of an equalizer, especially, if you're getting bad rocks, but we'll see how things go.
So here, internet willing, I will explain what's happening. And basically that's just propelling backwards really fastly. using the rock recoil, just like Barker Scott. And we're gonna get an angle here to clip through the corner of this wall, and then from clipping through there, we're gonna hit the loading zone of an area below us, and also void out on the same frame, like so. And doing that puts us at the top of the next map. So we loaded that loading zone that we touched, and we have the coordinates that we would have respawned at from the void out in our last map. So it puts us really high on the last map there, and we can jump slash down and just skip the entire collapse. So very nice from Barf there.
Oh, Kayla clipped through the wall.
Oh,
Will it
Kayla?
work? No, she voids.
Oh, that's so unlucky.
Unfortunate. Yeah, I mean, you can get a random angle that clips you through, and it can just let you get the void warp, but it's very much unlikely in comparison to, you know, doing the consistent setup. And it's not really anything you did wrong. It's just like the game said no, basically.
Yeah. She just happened to get an angle that clipped and.
Although, you know, conversely, when that does work out and you do get the clip and like get the successful trick.
Yeah, sometimes you get a good angle that clips and hits the loading zone.
That feels amazing. Especially if the run's like already dead. Oh, okay.
But yeah, if Kayla still has switch targeting on, she can't actually do void warp. You need hold targeting for this trick. I don't remember seeing her change it, but
New wave switch targeting void warp, I believe.
just invent a setup for it right now.
I mean, does ZFG's PB not do void warp, I guess? It's a very adamant switch target
Does
user.
have a PB in this category?
Yeah, it's like 26 minutes. It's pretty awesome. It's like
Nice.
9 years old. It's like ridiculously dinosaur old. Oh, it's a 21? Wow. I thought it was worse than that. I'm sad. This PB is literally better than mine. Oh my gosh. Turns out ZFG is better than me at this game. Who knew?
That's pretty unlucky, dude.
Yeah. Looks like Caleb giving up the ghost here. Doesn't have enough HP.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you know, gonna have that switch targeting turned off for next run. We'll see a closer race here. I mean, this one was pretty close, honestly. I mean, races tend to sort of diverge here at the point of void warp, like we were talking about, but this one was pretty close, all things considered.
Yeah, definitely.
We will see Z-Barf wrapping up the run here, going to be getting ISG and defeating the Dark Pig Lord with a stick because, you know, it's not actually that strong, unfortunately. Kind of a lame last boss in the game. Literally dies.
Yeah, the stick is actually just... The flimsy piece of wood is actually just overpowered.
It's true. I remember growing up, I was always like, man, why would I ever use this garbage item? Like, besides, like, why can't I even use it as a weapon? And then, like, turns out it does literally as much damage as, like, the Chosen One's sword, like, that they hype up the entire, like, game. Like,
yeah. Not only is it the same damage, but it's, like, literally the same damage value, so it has the same properties as the Master Sword. At least the jump slash of the stick does.
Yeah, we were talking about that last match. I wasn't sure if it was, but Kayla confirming that it is literally the same damage as the Master Sword, which like what were they thinking? Like what on earth?
if the slash was the same slash as the Master Sword, I'd kind of understand because they just like reused it, but like the slash is different. It's a stick slash. And the jump slash for the stick is the exact same as the Master Sword, so yeah, I don't know. 98 programming.
I'm surprised if that doesn't already exist, Habble. That's gotta already exist. But yeah, Z-Barf wrapping things up. Looked like something like a 20. 34 is the exact time. Very epic.
GG's Z-Barf. Game 1 out of the way.
Yeah, I mean, gotta be a little bit of a shallow victory with Kayla sitting on the switch targeting, but at the end of the day, a win's a win.
Yeah.
It is a best of 3, so we will see if Kaylabee is able to come back in this next one, perhaps put a point on the board and bring it to a best of 3. We'll see what happens. To see if the racers
Wait,
are ready to get
Barf just
for
went
next one.
offline in this rating? Does he not realize it's the best of 3?
I guess not.
Barf, no. Barf, you have more
Oh, that's okay.
matches. See, Barf, thank you so much for
He's
that.
gotta go live again.
No, just go live. It's funny. Yeah, that's all you gotta do. Just hit the start streaming button. Easy. See, it was actually all intentional. Z-Barf just came in here to flex the victory. He just wanted to.
He actually wanted to sell it.
Yeah, good time to plug the bracket and the Discord. I can't type EGOSRM. But yeah, tournament bracket. If you want to see everybody that's competing this weekend in the tournament, it will be wrapping up this weekend. So it's a pretty quick tournament. We've got multiple matches in the same weekend. Pretty hype format, in my opinion. Got a lot of solid racers. We also have a Discord if you are interested. If you run the category, if you're interested in running the category, you can pull through, sign up for the tournaments, or just generally talk to some other Ganon SRM runners. It's a good time. Promise we're friendly. But it looks like we are back with both racers. We're ready to get into the next one. We will see how
Z-Barf
things
is now
develop.
streaming again.
Yeah, I mean, he never went offline, really. He never really hit the stop streaming button. He just brought back, he's ended the raid. Brought his raiders back.
Alright, well, I trust that Kayla has hold targeting now, so this will provide her a bigger advantage than last time. And there it is. The hold targeting confirmed on stream.
All right, excellent. If both racers are ready, and we'll get things started here for match number 2. It's going to be up to Kayla to get things off the ground here. Unfortunate with the controller mishap. Well, the control setting mishap, rather.
Looks like we're off, but oh, now we're synced. Nice.
Have the technology.
All right, we do have the technology. Let's go. All right, game 2 of the best of 3. Barf up 1. Still anyone's game. We'll have to sit through the intro again.
You mean have to? This is the best part of the game. It's dramatic.
You're right. You're right.
Look at that. Oh my god. The camera flashing around. What is that? A horse? Looks like a fancy horse. Oh my gosh. It's Zelda. Who would have imagined?
But you can lose time here, RPC, by playing on N64.
Yeah, you can lose time everywhere by playing on N64. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty nice feature.
Except for Out of the Well.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you still do lose time in some areas in Bottom of the Well. It's not if you're doing blank A.
Yeah, I was referring to Blank A.
Got last tournament's champion in the chat. The weather up there, insane. Star power in the chat right now is through the roof. Got Lavo in there. Insane. Crazy.
Got some big streamers in the chat. Big defeat Ganon runners. So
Yeah, it's
many
really
ways.
nice to see a lot of OOT gamers pulling through for this tournament and the last tournament. It's good to see the community coming together, rallying behind, things outside of bingo and randomizer. As much as I love bingo and randomizer, I do love speedrunning as well.
Yeah, it's really nice to have a speedrunning tournament on just vanilla RTA categories.
Absolutely. I hope we have many more to come. I'd like to get some other tournaments going as well in the future. I mean, Defeat Ganon, really great race tournament or race format, but there's other good formats as well, or categories.
Yeah, I've heard whispers of a GSR tournament coming up soon, so.
I mean, there generally is
tuned for
a yearly one. I've not heard about it.
Yeah, there
yet.
usually is. I've heard whispers of it starting up soon.
I'm interested.
All right, well, we're out of Link's house. It's a good first step to any speedrun.
Yeah, starting the run is an important first step. We'll see how long we can stay synced here, moving up to the sword. Kayla just a little bit more optimal heading up to the crawl space, getting the correct angles, getting a really spicy backflip, honestly, onto the slope. And those little things do add up over the course of the run.
Yeah, really solid movement from Kaylee here so far. Nothing bad for Barf either. Just less optimal. Oh, except for the backflip on the chest. Classic.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about like that area around the chest, but there's some sort of like anti-speedrunner force field that just like makes you do random inputs for some reason. You just like end up talking to the sign or like doing some random nonsense all the time.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of those force fields in the game.
Yeah, kind of weird. Miyamoto had it out for us, I guess. Very nice Rose Rock movement from Kayla. Let's see if Barf can get the bridge clip. Very nice. Both going for that consistent setup.
Solid shield time from Kelly here. Nice little 45.
Yeah, and Kayla's got to be playing with a bit of a chip on her shoulder at this point. I mean, it must have been pretty, like, disheartening going into Void War, basically knowing you can't do it. Like, I mean,
Yeah, I could imagine.
pretty much match over at the time you realize that you're on Switch targeting, so... And I mean, I've said this many times before, but it's very much GSA that should be thanking the community for having this tournament on our channel. I very much want to have a lot more OOT content. So if anybody ever has an idea for a tournament, if they don't have, you know, the knowledge or the time or whatever to actually operate the tournament, they need some help, definitely slide into my DMs. I'm interested in talking about it. But Kayla getting an absolute launch into that cutscene, that was kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's a really nice introduction from Kayla overall as well. Gonna be right around 6 minutes here.
Yeah, Kayla potentially going for the Richard Bop on this run. I'm not sure what's going through her veins right now, but the power is high.
Yeah, Kayla's gonna pull out the shield scoot again real quick. I got the quick put away though. On to Gim. Z-Barf now on the quick put away.
Yeah, Kayla successfully getting out of bounds here, so step one complete. Holding on to that lead for now, but a failed Gim could definitely bring things back in Z-Bar's favor, but at this point it doesn't look like we're going to see that. It looks like we're kind of past the major weak points in Gim. It's just about getting that good cycle, and here we are on the vines. No freak death to the Baba this time.
Nice skim from Kayla. That was a solid 706, 705. Really nice. Now Z-Barf onto the vine grab portion of Gim. Also got out of bounds. Very nice. Alright, Z-Barf got the vine grab. Kayla hopping down after touching that map chest.
Blue potion acquired.
Solid B1 jump.
Z-Varf doing a little bit of a dance with the Deku Baba there. It was interesting to see.
Are these scrubs gonna go for Kayla? Doing some safe scrubs, nice. Yeah, this one's really, really solid for Kayla. She might be on PB pace, I don't know.
Yeah, and with the 17
this is really nice.
PB, that's crazy in a race.
Yeah, for sure.
RTA Dan with the insider knowledge. Negative
Spoilies.
1.2 on PB.
Okay, meanwhile, Barf getting the vine grab once again. Successfully collected the nut and the vine. So that's a game completed for Z-Barf and a Goma dead for Kayla.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Dad.
I was like, what happened on Goma and PB, dude?
Yeah, it seems like a Goma. It's like a Goma for Hank.
Either way, still on PB pace for Kayla. Really nice.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Barf heading down.
Yep, collecting that blue potion himself, but quite a bit behind. An entire Goma fight, entire scrubs. Hasn't even burned the web yet. There's a lot of ground to make up here, but I mean, certainly possible. As we saw before, you know, Void Warp can be a huge bottleneck, especially if you have the incorrect control scheme. But Kayla kind of looking on fire right now. I don't know if we're going to see something like that happen again.
Yeah, this has been very nice so far from her.
Kind of insane gameplay.
Barf needs. Oof. Barf missed that first. Oh, and a death.
Chat claiming that Z-Barf is charging up a secret move. I'm not sure if that was it, but that's not the secret move we needed. Dying to scrubs is a mega oof. It's a lot of ground we're going to have to cover.
Alright, and Kayla, with bugs in hand, back to the Deku tree to do the wrong warp. Z-Barf taking his revenge on the scrubs, hopefully.
Oh my god.
Nearly missed the death there. Oh, twice! Okay, he's fine.
Thank God Z-Barf is some sort of a psychic, knows when the bullets are about to hit the back of his head and just flips around and deflects them. Very cool.
Z-Barf literally in the Matrix right now.
Yeah, Kaylabee though with a nice west to the door. Not gonna be setting up for it.
Yeah, this is still really nice pace for Kayla.
Yep, no bug troll. Love to see it. And a solid OI in the warp. Should be a shoe-in to get this. Seems okay. Not could have potentially been early, but I think it's good.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
Oh.
it was early. She only has one nut right now.
Yeah, no, I don't think she realizes. She's dropping the bugs again. That would be catastrophic. Please recognize you don't have enough bugs, Kayla. Please. Okay, good.
Okay. Saved. Oh, unfortunately, PB dead for Kayla, but in terms of this race, still very much ahead.
Yeah. Not a huge deal in terms of the race. And I mean, PB in a race, very difficult, very unexpected.
Yeah.
So
The category this brutal.
Yeah, something we were talking about in the previous series was there's a lot of wrong warp mishaps, and you know, being on one nut, you can, you know, do some other wrong warp setups that only require one nut, which would be interesting to see in a race setting, you know, from more advanced players. Some sword slashes and the like.
Can't say it's never been done. It's certainly not consistent, though.
Is it not consistent?
Well, like YOLOing random setup if you fail, is what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you can find some setup for a sword slash.
Well, I know Skater used to use a sword slash. Sure, other people did as well, but it's the only person I can really think of on the top of my head that did that.
Alright, Kayla now through. 2 collapse. Still quite comfortably ahead. Even a slow Void Warp would all but secure the win for her.
Yeah, Z-Barf.
Z-Barf now collecting the bugs. Yep.
Has to clear a lot of distance back to the Deku Tree. Will we see a... Nope, okay. Maybe, please.
No Westers.
No.
No Westers, no plunges.
I just want to see a waterfall, West. Come on. YOLO.
I'll give you one tomorrow, don't worry.
All right. We're into the Deku Tree. We've got to make our way downstairs, though, still. Meanwhile, Kaylabee having to make her way downstairs in quite a different scenario. Tower is collapsing. It's a little bit more Monka-esque. A lot of rocks falling from the sky, which is pretty nice, seeing how we would not be able to do this next trick coming up without the rocks falling from the ceiling. Hopefully the rocks are nice. They are RNG. They kind of depend on where your camera is facing, I believe, or like what you can see on the screen. But, you know, mostly...
Other than that, yeah.
Mostly
Just RNG.
I'm kind of scared of where this rock is.
Yeah, this could slide into Zelda. It looks good, though. Yeah, this should be fine.
And we didn't clip out of bounds. Let's go.
It almost looked like it could have there for a second. I was a little worried.
That would have been really bad luck. But we have successfully completed the Void Warp, as long as, you know, we don't do any sort of crazy shenanigans here. But, you know, luckily not playing an N64, so you can't just crash outright. So you have some sort of freak VC accident.
Yeah, VC crash would not be ideal. But Kayla on through, on her way to Ganon. Very nice. Really good run from her, aside from the one mistake at Ganondorf.
Yeah, playing it safe on the rocks. I like to see it shielding the damage. It is possible to die in that hallway pretty... Not, I wouldn't say easily, but like... Rocks are
It's a possibility that you can just avoid if you have the comfort.
We are into the final collapse cutscene here before the Ganon fight, which is not the hardest fight in the world. To be very shocking to see Kayla die on it, but it is possible. Z-Barf gonna have to keep his head in it, go for this Void Warp. Hopefully we will see it successful out of him, but very unlikely to see an upset at this point in this one, which means we're going to get another game, so I'm not complaining.
I'm all about more games. Alright, here we go, Z-Barf on the rock. Let's see what we can do here. That's unfortunate from Z-Barf that didn't miss.
Z-Barf is like catapulting himself forward from like a mile back, I feel like.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know if that's
from a bit further back than I would recommend.
Yeah, I don't know if that's like how he usually does it, or if that's just how he's having to go for it. Because I mean, sometimes the rocks are just far away. You just gotta like YOLO into the rocks. But luckily, playing on, I think it's only on 1.2 you can do that, right? Or is it 1.1 and 0.1?
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it's 1.1, but it's definitely not 1.0. But yeah, you can drink bugs on 1.2. It's nice.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. Like in real life, I feel like that'd probably be a bad time drinking bugs. But Link apparently nourished by the protein gives him some extra life. Which, important to note, we can't lose more than one heart here, or else we cannot complete. Or we can't take 2 hits, excuse me. Can only take 1 hit.
Yeah, you need more than 2 hearts.
My words escaped me, unfortunately. With how much I end up commentating speedrunning, I would hope that my ability to form sentences was a bit better, but not the case. Kayla, on the other hand, able to defeat Ganon in the first phase, getting that ISG. knocking him to the ground. Has recovered the Master Sword, which looks suspiciously like the Kokiri sword, but don't mind that. It is, in fact, the Master Sword. Promise.
And so is the stick. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Just a few more hits from Kayla. Yep, there we go. Ganon down. Sub 20. You like to see it.
That's a hot speed run.
Yeah, like I said, other than that Ganondorf, very, very nice run from Kayla. GG to Kayla. 1940 is what the final time looks like. And that does confirm that we are in fact heading to a game 3. That's exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. See if Barf wants to try to nail this Void Warp. Or just get into the next one. Looks like we're going to walk into the cutscene here.
Yeah, unfortunate there for Barf. I'd be surprised if he continues here.
I was confused because it looked like it was intentional. I was like, okay, we're going to go downstairs and do the entire collapse sequence. Would be an option. I mean, I wouldn't stop him from doing it, but, you know, could just get into the next one. Always an option.
Yeah, whatever he wants. I can certainly understand wanting to finish out the run. Definitely can give yourself a morale boost just from finishing a run.
We're going.
Yeah, looks like we're going. So Barf heading down the tower now.
Dan was saying that Zelda jumps over that gap. I don't see it. I don't see Zelda's feet moving. She just kind of shuffles over.
She does not jump over that gap. She just floats over it.
Dan was so like adamant.
It's a dirty liar.
Yeah, Dan. I'm gonna have to have a word with Dan in the post game.
Zelda's just moonwalking over it.
Zelda does have some moves. Hold targeting is the GOAT. Not sure how anyone plays with switch targeting, to be honest. It kind of breaks my mind.
Alright, nice ISG Stealthos from Barf. That's pretty much the last hurdle aside from dodging rocks.
Yeah, I mean, I think even the burning ones on the ground are scarier than the ones coming out of the sky. I mean, there's rocks all around Link, just kind of trying to take him out.
Yeah, side note for viewers, if he touches a burning rock on the ground, his shield will burn. And if your shield burns, while Zelda is on screen, the game will crash. So this room especially has a pretty bad camera. And
Oh, I did it! His stream like lagged right when he was running past a rock, and I was like, "No way, he did it! Touched the rock!"
yeah, the flying ones are fine, but the ones that are already on the ground are the ones you have to worry about.
Almost had a heart attack there.
But it looks like Zebarf is through now. On to Ganon to finish out the run.
Aw, Zelda rejecting the kiss, just pushing
Yeah, that
him
was
aside.
that was just rude by Zelda.
Maybe when you're older, Link. Come back and do a super slide, and then we'll talk.
Yeah.
All right, get your timers out for the cutscene RNG.
I certainly did not see the collapse time, so I have no clue what this cutscene RNG will be.
Important to note that the winner of this next race will be moving on to the semifinals. This is a round 2 matchup. We'll be seeing J Daddy going up against Randy later on. If you're, I mean, depending on where you are, it's either going to be early morning for you, or if you're in the EU like me, it'll be in normal morning, which hopefully I won't be awake for, but we'll see. I might be roped into commentary. If you guys are interested in commentating, maybe you know a bit about the game, definitely join the Discord. Hit us up. We're always looking for people to help out. Also looking for participants. All that good stuff. All right, the pig fella. He's got 2 big swords.
We got a stick.
Yeah, stick's pretty cool. One thing I was talking about earlier is like, it's almost a relevant strategy to just like get an extra stick. Like the amount of time loss it is to just grab an extra stick versus like we saw in the last matchup, like somebody broke their stick and it's just like, okay, that's like a massive, huge time loss.
I can imagine, yeah.
Probably not in any of like the really, really tight like upper matches where it's like the finals and 2 people with a 17 going up against each other, but especially in matches where people have like not even sub 20 yet, I can definitely see sort of a trend coming on where people just get 2 sticks. I don't see why it wouldn't be a good idea.
Yeah, seems like a solid backup strategy. Can't be too safe in these races. Depends on what kind of game you'll play. Either way, GG Barf. The pig is down.
Right, the stick has been powered up with the power of the Master Sword somehow. Very cool.
And there it is.
Z-Barf showing, the fact that he wants to finish out these runs. You gotta love to see it. I mean,
Yeah, I'm a fan personally.
A lot of stuff went wrong, but still playing it out. Always good to see in races. But we got one more race coming up. It's like we got some little mid-game interviews going on for the final one.
Hello.
Z-Barf.
Hello.
Kayla.
Hi, I'm Kayla.
I'm Z-Barf.
Very epic.
Okay, man.
I don't.
So 1-1. It's anyone's game.
Phew.
How y'all feel about your wins? I'll ask Z-Bar first since you won the first round. How did you feel about the round 1 win?
Very good. I was very surprised to win, and I heard Kayla had recently had to reinstall her WOD, so the whole switching and what's the other option? I can't know. Like where you hold or you don't hold, and
Hold and switch.
I was not expecting to win, but I'm just happy to be here and hang out with all.
Hey, you
you
still
guys.
played
It's been
quite
fun.
well in that one either way, so
Thank you.
I would
Yeah,
be happy
you.
with that. And Kayla, thoughts
Yeah.
on your almost crazy run for this one?
Yeah. I'm sad about the first one just because, I just re-downloaded and forgot to switch the targeting, so that sucked. I should have realized earlier on, when I targeted the rock in the crawl space. I should have realized so early. But for the last race, I was surprised to be I was on pace.
Yeah, PB pace, I heard.
Yeah, it was
Very cool.
-0.5 after, or would have been after wrong warp, and then I would have golded it, and I failed it by going.
That's really unfortunate, but either way, just showing that.
We get to have a third race, so that's hype.
Yep.
Yeah. I'll be honest, guys. I thought we were just doing one race today. That's why I
Yeah,
like
we
stopped
noticed.
streaming. I was like, other people were doing it, and I'm like, is this a special thing for their seed? They have to do two. And yeah, I was like, oh, we're doing two. Okay, now we're doing three. So, heck yeah, more races, more fun.
Yeah, one more race to go. Saren, do you have any more questions before we get on with the
When do we
third
start?
race here?
I'm ready. I'm prepared.
When do we start?
Right
Okay,
now.
bye.
All right, bye guys.
All right, racers are back in their zone. They're gonna get ready to go, and we will see what happens. I am 100% ready. See the thrilling conclusion.
Yes. Our first Team 3, I believe, is what I've heard, right? Of the tournament.
Our first two?
Game 3.
Yes.
Very
The
cool.
other ones were 2-0s. I'm glad we're doing best of 3. I think best of 1 for this category is kind of Monka. I mean, there's so many things that can go wrong. Like, it can lose you just a buttload of time and the game's just over. It's like, it's a big feels bad, man. I mean, imagine if, first round Kayla just forgot to switch to hold targeting and then it's just over. Like, that's just it. That'd be terrible.
Yeah. Very, very nice to have a BO3 here. So whenever they are ready, we will get underway. Should be pretty soon here. And then we will once again be graced with the presence of the intro cutscene.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to learn everything. I don't know if we have any Japanese translators in the chat, but get any lore intel, that'd be nice. I'm not really sure what's going on in this game, honestly. It's pretty confusing. Pretty in-depth storyline.
I just slide everywhere. I don't really know what's going on other than that.
Warp around, do a bunch of spirals in Kokiri Forest, call it good.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you're actually supposed to do here.
It always concerns me when I meet players and they like do like crazy SRM routes and they're like, yeah, I've never beaten this game casually. And it's just like, excuse me?
That's me. I've never beat this game casually.
Oh my goodness. But I mean, you've like ran categories like glitchless and stuff, so like you kind of have, like, even though you haven't, like,
glitchless still skips a lot though.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm talking about like people who just run like the new any percent or something. And it's just like,
yeah, that's fair.
Like,
Doing all these
so
crazy
much
warping
more.
around and everything, and they're just like, I don't know what's going on with the rest of this game. All I know is Kankiri Forest.
Yeah, that's all I need.
Never been outside the forest. I was waiting for the first year of my my speedrunning at least, so.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair. I mean, everyone has their own thing they enjoy. Personally, I think the game has a lot more to offer, but
I agree. Regardless, this category that is in almost entirely in Kankiri Forest is still very, very good.
see, that's why hack route is so important. You get to see so much more of the game. You get to see Zora's.
Yeah, you get to see
River,
some chickens.
Yeah, you
Yay.
get to see the chicken collecting mini game, and
Gets to see Anju. Everyone knows Anju.
yeah, she's very creepy. Honestly, I don't really like her. Her face kind of freaks
Okay.
me out.
Apparently, you don't like Anju.
I mean, the fact that she collects chickens and like raises chickens and can't even touch them, like, please get another profession.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's a fair criticism, I feel like.
it's just irresponsible. Like, you're just expecting other people to do your work for you. Like, come on. Just gotta have some screws loose or something. Something not right there.
Almost done with this intro cutscene here. Just a few more text boxes while Wink clicks up.
Yeah, unfortunately, Link had a hard night last night. He had a few too many blue potions. Now he's taking a little bit long to wake him up. He's a sleepy guy.
Yeah, I think he hit his head pretty hard on a rock or something as well.
Got bouldered in the maze trying to get the cookie sword. Stumbling around. Oh yeah, the first time you attack the chickens is a good time.
Once again, at Link's house, talking to Saria, see Saria.
Thunder, with the way they like explain a lot of stuff and the way Nintendo made the timeline, I would not be surprised if that was like they like came out in 5 years and they're like, oh no. Actually, in OOT, Link wakes up and he's just hungover and nothing ever
He's just
happens.
extremely hungover at 10 years old.
Yeah, he just did a bunch of drugs. He just hallucinated all the events of OOT. That's what actually happened. And then that somehow ties into Majora's Mask, but Barf re-entering the crawl space here. That's not a good time.
That's unfortunate.
A little bit
Not
unsure on
the
movement
biggest
to
deal,
back up.
but still a time loss nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, it's important to point these things out, though. I mean, it's very, like, obvious the difference here between both runners. I mean, all three
Absolutely.
matches, Kayla's come out on top, and it's just like, she just has more experience. She's done more runs. She's played the game a bit more. And every little second, every little movement counts.
Barf avoiding the meatball this time. Didn't bunk his head. Kayla too used to switch targeting now, and can't do Rose Rock with full targeting.
I mean, it's understandable. Understandable. Targeting is addicting. I mean, I remember my first time on Switch targeting, I was like, whoa, what is this? This is a new world. Gotta explore this. But it has made it to the shop. Quite a bit ahead of Z-Barf here, and
Yep.
we will
Still
see
a
how-
solid shield time nonetheless.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens in Gim. Definitely seen both players have a bit of trouble here and there on the Gim, and
And just as well, a
shift-
bit of success.
yeah, absolutely. We got the Z-Barf supporters in the chat giving some power. I think that's the most important thing you can do as a chatter is give gamer power to the runners. It definitely works. It's not a hoax. It's not a ruse. If you cheer in the chat for your racer, definitely makes them play better. 100%.
Absolutely. Oh, Kayla, a little bit scuffing on the boost there, but again, not the biggest deal ever. It's not even a second time save, I don't think. Barf doing, I think, literally the exact same thing that Kayla just did.
I didn't even look. Did they both draw sword earlier or something?
Yeah, they both like pressed B then A or something. I don't know. They both like did a side slash and then just ran into the cutscene.
Yeah, that's so easy to do. I probably do that like half the time I attempt that, and then I'm just like, why do I even bother? I just lost time.
All right, well, Kayla slightly ahead, both on the Gim. We'll see how this plays out. Late frame there from Kayla on the first try. Another late frame.
Yeah, having some trouble with the quick put away, and Z-Bar pulling ahead here.
Ooh, that is not great. Kayla slashing the Baba on accident. Gonna have to grab another stick. You know, I think it looked like Zero went early on the Vine clips, and now he's just gonna reset it up. Oh yeah, fake frame. That sucks.
Wouldn't it be faster just to get the another stick downstairs from the standing up Baba? Or...
Yeah, there were other things Kayla could have done there, but sometimes it's hard to come up with exactly what you need to do in the heat of the moment.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what's so interesting about like racing compared to like just doing resets is like, you know, that would just be a reset. But in this situation, it's like you can't reset, so what's the fastest thing to do? And
a very impressive Gim from Seabarth there.
you say aggressive or impressive?
Impressive. Also
okay.
aggressive, honestly.
I was like, wow, okay, I'm not sure what that means, but maybe elaborate.
I mean, if we want to pull aggressive, I mean, he didn't buffer the Gim, I think at all. I didn't watch completely, but I know he didn't buffer the Vine grab, but
that's crazy. Z-Barf playing out of his mind right now.
Yep, some would say aggressive.
Going ahead.
And now, of course, he has to buffer B1 jump after doing game completely
Oh,
unbuffered.
it doesn't have a good angle. No, that's
Yep, slightly off in the position there. You know, Kayla out of bounds, working on the Gim. Alright, up to B1 is Barf. Getting the torch lit. Down to Scrubs in a second here. Let's see how those go.
Yep, we are damaged down. We've had some Matrix moments here at the Scrubs. We'll be doing it again. Oh, first Scrub, not quite shooting a pellet, but pretty good
That
Scrubs.
was a little monka, but it worked, and it was fast. So well done from Barth. It looks like Kayla's still struggling a bit on the Gim here. Is not the best to see.
Yeah, it's a difficult trick. There's a lot of moving parts, a lot of frame perfect inputs that you must execute. We're back out of bounds here.
Alright, Kayla on the vines. As long as she wins this duel with the Baba. Which she doesn't. Another death to the Baba.
Kayla. Oh.
It's so unfortunate.
We need some more crying emojis in the chat. This is a sad day. That is very harsh. Oh man. I'm feeling physical pain right now. That can't feel good. That's Kayla. I mean,
Yeah.
one time it's like, all right, what the heck? But like twice in the same night, it's like, no, that did not happen.
Alright. Will Kayla get her revenge?
Oh my gosh.
Looks like it.
I mean, there's plenty of HP. If the Baba took off 2 full hearts, I mean, I think Kayla is required to just put the controller down at that point. There's really nothing you can do.
maybe so. Either way, a successful Gim now for Kayla.
Yeah.
She is past that part of the run. Always feels nice.
And I mean, in the last run, we saw Z-Barf really struggling on the Void Warp, which, you know, we saw Kayla having trouble with the Gim, but there's still quite a few skill checks to go in this run. It's not just a sprint to the finish now for Z-Barf.
Very much anyone's game still.
We got to get a successful wrong warp and then the Void Warp. 2 very hard tricks.
Z-Barf struggling to cut the grass there.
It's a difficult task.
Z-Barf now on his way to wrong warp, and Kayla defeating the Scrubs now.
I'm so scared. I can't hear anything, so I'm like...
Yeah, I can't hear the games either, so I never know when the nuts are coming.
Yeah, it's just like sheer terror the whole time. You can't see where the Scrubs are. It's like, oh my gosh.
Just gotta trust the runners. Nice B1 skip from Barth there, grabbing his trademarked extra nuts and save warp. Or not save warp, but save.
Very much respect the save, and the extra nuts is a good idea, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely respect it. Now on his way to attempt wrong warp. Both in Goma's room, but one with a different task. The queen is dead on Kayla's side. As Z-Barf is now setting up the wrong warp. This is always scary to me. I don't like it when people do this yellow lineup.
Yeah, did you watch the last match? We had two players at the same time spending like multiple like attempts at trying to get, when the players will like line up so the blue warp is like covering their screen. Have you ever seen that?
People do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, if you're not going to do the triple backflip, literally just do the 8 backflips or 7 backflip setup. It's not that much slower.
Yeah.
It's much more consistent too than whatever they're doing. But anyways, successful wrong warp from Barf there. On to Collapse now. Very nice looking from him. And Kayla on the way to grab some bugs.
Yeah, time is running out for Kayla, unfortunately. Z-Barf closing in on the kill, but needs to get this next trick coming up, and it's doozy. I mean, rocks, they're scary, they're coming from the sky, they're random. And Hessing was a bit of a problem for Barf in the last match, so see how that pans out this time.
This will be interesting to see. We'll see if he can clutch it. If he gets this, he's more or less home free, barring a death to Ganon. If he can roll off the thing without voiding. He almost rolled off the platform there.
Okay, I believe.
Okay, taking one hit, not the worst thing in the world.
Oh,
Take
please
one
don't
hit.
stand next to the edge.
And
No!
took another hit. Okay, well, this is what he built up a lead for.
Yeah, has a little bit of room for error, but needs to keep things together. I mean, we can't fall too far behind at this point in terms of the void warp time. Kayla is rapidly approaching.
Yeah, indeed. Kayla now on her way to do the wrong warp herself. So Barf does not have too much longer to actually get this with the lead still intact.
Yeah, and a
You have
beautiful
to find one within the next couple minutes.
west of the door there. Okay, this frame looks good.
Yep, that is a successful Hess from Barf there. If you can hit these target inputs, should be home free. And there it is, a successful void warp from Barf. Very nice.
All right, the big stuff is done for Barf. He's just got to close it out. There's a few things, coming up that are difficult. I mean, Ganon fight is not too hard, but does have its potential for failures. And there's a scary, spooky Redead right here.
That this guy gives hugs that you do not want.
I almost cursed someone in the last race. I brought him up, and then immediately he like froze the player, and I was like,
"Oh no!
Please tell me I didn't just say that." Like,
not the caster curse.
Dude, it happens every time. We even got Kayla in the chat rooting for Barf right now.
Oh no, Kayla.
Ah. Rip.
I didn't quite see what happened, but something messed up during the wrong warp itself, and she got pulled up into the cutscene.
Yeah, you got to have a very specific amount of frames transpire between ending the Ocarina items in the warp and touching and entering the door. We did not succeed in those amount of frames, unfortunately. So Z-Barf looking like he's going to run away with this one unless there's some sort of crash or like some catastrophic failure of hardware or something. But
or a Dusty Ganon.
Yeah, but I mean, then he just goes down the tower.
Oh yeah, true.
I mean, unless Kayla starts playing again, but
Kayla just starts up the intro cutscene again.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't look like Kayla did save.
Yeah, GG's to Kayla. We will go ahead and pull her in after Z-Barf finishes up here. Gets his final time. Get some post-game chatter going. Some decompression. But Z-Barf going to be moving on to the semifinals probably tomorrow, maybe on Sunday. We'll see what things pan out for the schedule. Be working on the schedule after this race. If you are interested in the schedule, you can take a look by typing !schedule in the chat. It'll show you the entire Global Speedrun Association schedule we got a lot coming up this weekend. We got this tournament will be wrapping up this weekend. Started today, going to be wrapping up by Sunday. We also have on Sunday not only the Super Mario Odyssey World Peace Finals, but we also have the Super Mario 64 Bingo Lockout Free-for-All Tournament Finals. So it's kind of a big weekend today, or this weekend on GSA. Not gonna lie, kind of huge.
One thing to note here, Barf didn't land the jump slash going into this cutscene, so he's just got to jump slash, back up and jump slash before getting ISG here, or else it'll take much longer to kill again than usual. So looks like he knows. Jump slash acquired. ISG a little on the sketchier side. Ganon just pausing there for like no reason. Cool.
Oh my gosh, please get away from the tail. Please do not stab the tail.
ISG is a hard trick, frame perfect trick, everybody. Don't worry, it's fine.
Oh my god, just don't stab the tail.
Please.
I was doing runs in this category after like the longest time of never doing runs in this category, and I was just like melting down because I couldn't get ISG, and I just stabbed the tail with my stick, and I like had a
That would be the worst.
I was like, no way, dude.
All right. Bar secured the first phase there, and he can get around Ganon.
Ganon's got a big booty. I mean,
You do gotta think you do.
absolute massive dumpy. Oh my god,
Oh
yeah,
my god. Barf, please.
you love to see it.
Barf's giving me a heart attack right now.
Barf just making it interesting for the fans.
Yeah, seriously. Alright, Ganon down, Ganon down. GG again from Barf. Very similar time to his round 1 victory as well. Well played.
Yeah. Completing the game, that is the ultimate objective. Fortunately, Kayla unable to close out the last one, but putting up a good fight, making it a best of 3. Love to see it. And Barf throwing out the upset here, knocking Kayla out of the tournament. Kind of crazy. Kind of wild.
What a series.
Yeah, definitely a fun one to commentate and watch. See if we can get the racers into the booth here. I'm going to forcibly move them. Hopefully they will speak. Hello.
Hello, racers. Any speed racers in the chat?
That's a no.
Does not seem like we have any speed racers in the chat.
Steve Barf got shy. Perhaps went AFK. It's understandable. So how do you think about the races? What's your opinion on the races? Like that's what's really important. I mean,
That was a good series.
Doesn't matter.
Very, very close performances, honestly. That could have and did go either way.
Yeah, I mean, there's a
Very
lot of back
tight.
and forth. A lot of back and forth. Kaylabee coming with the raid. Much
There we go.
appreciated.
Thank you for the raid, Kayla.
Oh, Barf
If only
is
she
here.
would unmute.
Barf,
Hello, hello.
congratulations
Barf.
on the victory. How are you
Hello.
feeling about moving on to
Hey,
the
thanks,
semifinals?
guys.
GG.
Very, very bizarre. I wasn't expecting it. Thank you, Kayla. That was a lot of fun. I was like nervous as heck throughout each of the 3, and yeah, I was just happy to like finish like the runs. There was like part of me just being like, oh man, I'm just gonna like completely like crack under the pressure and just not be able to finish. I'm just glad I could. I'm glad I
Yeah.
could finish, and it was a lot of fun.
Race nerves are definitely real, for sure. But you played well despite them, so very, very nicely done, Z-Barf, and you'll move on to face whoever the winner is of the round 2, which we don't even know who will face the round 2 opponent of Trip. So
Ooh.
you gotta wait a bit for your
Mysterious.
opponent. You're a raid boss right now. You're just waiting.
Sounds good.
So, any thoughts on the victory? Any thoughts on on any one particular race that you I feel like
all
you played
blur already, man.
It's a blur. You're just going
I'm
through it.
just a nervous wreck. I think the
Oh,
first one
blur.
was definitely pretty darn good, except for all the Gim redos I had to do. Everything else was really darn good. I thought I had a good collapse doing Void Warp. It was like the first rock I was able to get. I was able to do pretty well there. Yeah, I think just Gim, and then every run had a really bad sword base, which is like really silly. I'm like jumping on the chest and dancing around it, and
Dude, it's hard to
it's a
do
good time.
the opening movement with nerves. I know too well.
Yeah. So I guess the first race probably overall, other than Gim, was good.
Nice. And Kayla, unfortunate in the first round, as we've talked about already, with the targeting issue, but
Yeah.
still played well. One in the second round, especially,
Thank
but
you.
still put up a decent performance. Other than some slight mishaps in Gim for the third race, but still, I mean, other than that, you played really well.
Thank you. Yeah. Like it could have gone the same even if I had hold targeting. Like who knows? So
Yeah.
GG's to Barf. And
Thank you, Kayla.
yeah, I'm just had that second run. The second run was good. I didn't play for a few days, and then I played MM for 7 hours, and the camera in that game is completely different from OT.
Yeah, that seems hard to switch between for sure.
Yeah.
Screwed myself there, but that's okay.
Dude, it was so fun, Kayla. Kayla and I are just like chatting, in the little race channel, and we're just like, we're both so nervous.
Yeah, like,
Good
you're
luck.
looking up to me right now.
We both, yeah. Heck yeah. So it's just good vibes, just all around.
That's
It was
awesome.
so fun. Kayla, you're awesome.
Oh no, you.
Nope. Stop
That's
it.
fantastic. Any questions from Saren?
Kayla, why do you have so much beef with that Baba in B1? Like,
That Baba has a grudge for real.
I'm scared of him. For a rightful reason. I'm
Clearly you
scared
have a
of him.
right to be scared.
I have a reason to be scared.
yeah, I've never seen that Baba go after somebody as hard as this. He was just like destroying you today. I don't know.
Oh, it hates me. It always does that. And so I was just trying to like mash, but that was a bad idea as well. So, it happens. It's a brutal category. Like when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, you lose a lot of time anywhere. Like anything can happen anywhere. So
Definitely true.
take what you can get. Thanks you guys for putting this on and
Yeah,
having this.
absolutely. Thank you so much.
Yeah, huge shout outs to the racers for participating. Make sure you go follow them. Their links are in the chat. Also should plug Lake as well. Appreciate you being on the comps. It's a huge help.
Thanks for being here, or letting me on here. And being here
Supplying
as
the
well.
game knowledge, since my game knowledge in this game is pretty minimal compared to you, so I appreciate all the knowledge drops.
Of course.
Also plugged the bracket if you are interested in seeing everybody that is in the tournament, all the matchups. The Discord if you want to join up and perhaps participate, talk about learning the category. But for now, we're gonna have to find somebody to raid because the next match is in a couple hours.
Mhm.
It's gonna be at
In 2 hours.
2 a.m. Eastern.
Wait, hold on.
So bit late for the US peeps. If you're in the EU, you're probably not awake yet, unless you're crazy and degen like me, and then you're definitely
me.
awake still. Yeah, Dan, you work night shifts, don't you?
Yeah, I work night shifts usually,
Yeah.
so I'm used to staying
Yeah.
awake at night.
Dan lives on the
Which-
other side of the planet.
Which actually is perfect for these races because these races we kind of like most people are from the US, so it works out for me to be restreaming at night
Yeah.
on the
Dan,
weekends.
you've been a godsend. I'm glad that I don't have to restream all the matches. It's amazing.
Thanks.
Thanks a bunch for restreaming, Dan.
No
But for now,
problem.
we're gonna have to find somebody to raid. I'm gonna pose a question to the chat. Do we want to watch Big Salt run any percent, or do we want to watch Rich
Please.
run
Ooh.
this category?
Ooh,
You got 2 options.
Ooh.
both fantastic
Well,
options.
ju-
I
just make-
could not choose.
Got no
I
responses.
saw also a third option.
Dude,
Yeah,
I
do
believe
a-
Trip just went
Yeah,
live.
do a poll.
as well.
Yeah, let's do Trip.
Ooh.
Trip's nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Defeat Ganon?
Yeah,
Probably.
we could raid the guy in the tourney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
I
we're
feel like
gonna
that's
have
a good decision.
I agree. I didn't know that Trip was live. I'm sorry. Please.
I just saw the
forgive me.
notification.
just
He
went
just
live,
went
maybe.
live.
Oh,
Just
okay.
went live.
All right. I can be forgiven then. All right. Well, we're gonna
Good
sign
raid.
off then, and we will go say hi to Trip. Be sure to drop some love in the chat, maybe some emotes, hang out, watch some runs. I know Trip has PB'd quite a bit recently. going for Instaclip and runs. He's a crazy god gamer
It's
from
on a tear.
Australia.
He has been
Jeez.
on like so many -10+ seconds runs recently.
Yeah,
But
seriously.
just lost them to Insta or whatever. Like, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah. He's
So
gonna
go
get a
watch
big-
him hit one of those.
Yep. Cheer him on. All right, everybody.
Bye,
We will
guys.
see you in a
GG,
couple hours.
GG, Kayla, that was fun. Bye,
GG,
everybody.
Kayla.
GG.